Welcome back to the Go&Do pod. We're back here, episode 10, I believe. Connie's got his grin on over there. We're here with Hunter Harris. I'm super excited about this one. Just a little background before we get into it. I met Hunter my first area on my mission. He was in one of the wards I served in. Actually took us on a hike my first P day. And then I ended up back in Hagerstown my last two transfers of my mission. He was out on his mission in Nicaragua. So tell us about years you served, where you're from, and your mission title.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I'm from near Baltimore, Maryland, in a town called Hagerstown. I served from October 2022 to October 2024. And
Yes, sir. Yeah, so right outside of Baltimore. We got the accent down over here. Yes, sir. Okay, so tell me a little bit about getting your call.
Yeah, so let's see. I started my papers like January 2022, worked on them, submitted them in I think May, and then like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, got the call back, and my family was driving to Utah for like a family reunion, and so we're on our way, and I didn't know when I was gonna get it because we thought that it was gonna come sooner, but it didn't. And so we're just driving, chilling, and I just get a text on my phone. So I was like, oh, your mission call's available. So I started freaking out. I was like, Mom, we're on the car in a minivan.
Yeah.
And so we stopped at a Costco and got pizza, and then went to a park, and that's where I opened it.
Quick shout out to the Harris family. They're one of my favorite families on my mission, so I'm glad you got to experience that with them for sure. So when you opened your call, what was your reaction? Did you know anything about Nicaragua?
Yeah, so I don't know, I saw Nicaragua, and I was like, okay, I know it's Spanish speaking, but I had no idea where it was. I was like, shoot, I felt embarrassed. I was like, I have no idea where this is. So I opened it, and then I was excited because my dad spoke Spanish. He went to Paraguay, so I was excited to be able to learn Spanish with him. But I knew nothing, literally nothing about Nicaragua. And after that, I did so many Google searches, but I don't know. I feel like there weren't very many sources that did justice to tell about what it's like in that country.
Yeah, for sure. And what was the name of your mission again? The full?
It was Nicaragua, Managua, North. So I was there's two
Managua
missions,
North.
the South and the North, and I was in the North mission.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, that's sick. So, let's see. When you got to Nicaragua, or what do you know about it though? Where? I don't even know what to say. Geographically, I don't even know where it is. I'm horrible at geography, bro.
Yeah, I didn't know anything. I didn't know. I just looked it up on Google Maps, and so in Central America, there's Mexico. Well, Mexico's North America, but Mexico, and then Guatemala, and then below Guatemala is Honduras, and then below Honduras is Nicaragua, and then Nicaragua is right above Costa Rica.
Okay, cool.
So it's smack dab in the middle.
It was tropical and stuff like that, or
yeah, it was really tropical. And then there's a rainy season and a dry season. But yeah, it's pretty tropical, super hot, really, really hot climate. Yeah.
Sweet. And which MTC did you go to?
I went to the Provo MTC.
Okay.
I've heard of some people going to the Mexico MTC, but I think at least when I got called, all of us were going to Provo.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. What was your MTC experience like? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I was just talking recently with my fiance about that. We were talking about oh man, the MTC was so fun. I remember it was different because I had never lived in a place where a lot of members of the church.
Right.
And so I come and there's I'm surrounded by other missionaries, and I was like, this is so different from everything I'd ever known. So it was cool. I loved it. Got there. We were there for 2 weeks of online and 4 weeks at the in-person MTC.
Yeah. How did you feel leaving the MTC to Nicaragua? Were you pretty nervous? Were you pretty just excited? What were your feelings were there?
I was super amped. I was really excited. I remember feeling very ready to leave. I was like, oh, I just can't wait to get out. And then, the Spanish teachers, the MTC teacher, they're like, oh, you're doing so good at Spanish. Yeah. You're so good. You're just going to kill it out there.
Was that the case?
No. I remember I was like, okay, I can catch 50-40% of what my teacher's saying. Oh, I'm set. Dude.
I could bear a stellar testimony.
Yeah, I was like, I'm good. But yeah, no, not the case at all.
Yeah. So where's the airport in Nicaragua? Where did you fly into?
Yeah, the airport is in.
Was it Delta that you flew with?
Oh, let's see. No, I think we flew with American Airlines.
Okay.
I think I flew with Delta. I had 3 flights. I flew from Salt Lake City to Charlotte, and then I flew from Charlotte to Miami, and then from Miami to Managua.
Yeah. Delta 6, they have the movie screens.
Yeah.
I remember a kid next to me, shout out Elder Davidson, watched 007 on the way to Denver. Yeah, crazy. Skyfall. Yeah.
Shout out. That's crazy. So you fly into Nicaragua. What happens then? How far away were you from your mission home? Everything like that.
So yeah, the airport was pretty far from the mission home. I didn't end up seeing the mission home till I was almost done. We didn't go to the mission home. We just flew in,
Interesting.
and then we went straight to like the transfers. We went straight to the chapel. I just remember,
Oh.
if I can like just deviate like a little bit. I remember like flying in, and I look out the plane windows, and I see like all these like red and like shiny silver like corrugated tin roofs, and I was like, oh man, like I'm not in the United States anymore. And I remember like seeing everything, and as like we get closer to the ground, I see like a huge casino. So I was like, I remember like my first thing, I was like, frick. I was like, what am I in for? And then like I think that's when like it hit me. I was like so nervous on the plane. I was freaking out.
Yeah.
I was like losing my mind a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I didn't see the mission home. Went straight to the chapel for transfers.
Yeah.
And then I ended up just getting sent with some like random elders to this house, to their missionary
Really?
house. It was like so dirty. And we get there, and they're like, oh yeah, here, you can just sleep on this mattress on the ground. I was like cockroaches right next to it. I was like, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's deviant. Had you ever been out of the country before Nicaragua?
Yeah, so I had like that same year, my dad, who's in the army, he had to leave for a long time for training. And so we'd gone to Costa Rica. So I was like, oh, Costa Rica is going to be like similar. Like Costa Rica is right below Nicaragua. So yeah, I had, and I gotten like a little taste of Central America, but Costa Rica is like a second world developing country. Nicaragua is definitely more third world. Yeah. So yeah, I had, but not quite the same.
That's interesting. So what were your thoughts and feelings like laying down? Did you lay down on that bed? Did you sleep on that bed?
Yeah.
What was going through your head when you're like trying to go to sleep and you're like,
Just
dude,
with the
where
rats
am
and
I?
roaches.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
rats and the roaches in the trenches, in the
Yeah.
sewers.
Okay, like I remember the flight was a 24-hour flight. So like just like layovers, and it was just like it was crazy. It was brutal. So we finally get there, and I remember like that night.
I don't mean to cut you off, but hey, let's do a better job with the traveling, church. You know what I
That's a
mean?
good call.
Like, holy smokes. I feel like everybody we have on here is like, yeah, my traveling experience was awful. And I got there and it was awful. Like, I was so tired. Were you like the same? It was just like, this is horrible and I'm tired. I just want to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, luckily I wasn't alone. I was with two other guys with me. Elder Peterson, Elder Perez, but we were going, and let's see. Yeah, so we left. I think our flight went out of Salt Lake City at like midnight, and then so like we left the MTC at like 5 or 6. I think like 5 p.m. Like we go there, go through security, get everything. Had this 2 suitcases, get checked in, get the tickets, and yeah. So I fly there, and I had like a 2-hour layover at Charlotte, and then we go to Miami. And then at Miami, I had like a 6-hour layover, or 7-hour layover, and then like we got lost in the airport. So like we ended up going like out of security and like there's like the hotel inside the airport. It's like the weirdest thing ever.
Just stumbled upon it.
Yeah, and so like
Interesting.
we're talking to some dude, and like one of our and like in Miami, everybody's like, I swear it's a third world country in Miami. Like it was not that different from Nicaragua. We get there, and so like Elder Perez, he was Latino, so he spoke Spanish. So he's like, oh, where do we go to like get to like gate J or whatever? And so this guy's like, oh, like go in that elevator and go to like the 4th floor, and like it sends us to some random, like we're in a hotel somehow, like inside the airport. And I was like,
That was a setup.
Yeah,
Not an
That
act-
is a setup.
There was
Yeah.
somebody there that was supposed to meet you, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So we go, and we're like, okay, well, we're not here. So we figured out eventually, and like we were like, I don't know. I think probably the other elders were like more level-headed. I was like freaking out. But yeah, eventually we got to our gate, and then some like super nice lady was like, oh, you guys are the Mormon missionaries. Here, take $100 for lunch. And so yeah, we just like, that was the Lord, like miracle right there,
Yeah.
because we didn't have anything. We were so hungry. So we got these like way overpriced sandwiches for like $30. And yeah, that was it. We got to Nicaragua. Yeah, so I think we got to Nicaragua. We got there. We were waiting in the airport forever. My bag got checked because I brought a pull-up bar. And so like, they're,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
unpacking all of my things, unzipping all of my bags, like digging through my garments. I was like, what is this? And then yeah, we finally see mission president. And I was like, I lived.
You made it
I
through
was
the
like,
24-hour ordeal.
at that point, I was like, yeah. Oh, but to answer your question, and I feel like stop me if I'm talking too much. But yeah, so I was super tired. So like, I don't know. I saw like the nasty bed, and I was like, bro, I do not care. I was like, I'm sleeping, but I couldn't sleep, not because I like was freaking out, but because it was so hot. It was like so hot. The like electricity went out, so like the fans weren't working. So I'm like
Yeah.
dripping sweat in my sleep.
Right.
Yeah, and so I didn't sleep at all that night either. I'm like 2 days without sleep. But yeah, I remember
That's
like
awesome.
it was an adventure. I don't know. I was with other people at the time, so like all of that stuff, even though it was hard, was like kind of fun, you know.
Yeah. It was a whole different ball game.
Were you stressed out packing? Because, like, once again, I'm only going to Denver. It's like a 45-minute flight from Salt Lake.
Right.
And so for me, I get 2 suitcases. Actually, yeah, 2 suitcases and a carry-on or whatever. But that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't stressed out packing. I knew I had enough room for whatever I needed, and then anything else I would just buy out there. But, like, for you, dude, it's like you're packing for 2 years. Like, you're actually taking 2 years of your life, and
Right.
hence the pull-up bar.
Yeah.
You know? So did you get to keep that, by the way, or did I get yoinked?
I know I got to keep it. Yeah, I kept it through most of my mission, and then I left it there and I gave it to some other elder.
Gotcha. Because you already got the gains. Just don't even.
Yeah,
need
I
anymore.
think I lost weight on my mission.
Okay, sick.
Yeah, I got the
Yeah, I did not get that fortune. I did not get that.
So what were some things you maybe wished you would have packed, if anything, or was there anything when you got to the mission that you're like, oh, I didn't really need to bring this?
That's a really good question. I think I brought way more than I needed, to be honest. Cause like I like brought all these like games and things like this that I like never ended up using.
Yeah.
Garments, bring more garments. Cause like you
yeah.
can get them in Nicaragua. There's a distribution center, but like they're really hard to get, and you have to like send somebody to get them, and they're really cheap. So like if you're in that area, which was in the South Mission, so it was hard for us. But like
okay.
if somebody's going to the South Mission, then I'd be like, all right, maybe it's not that necessary
Right.
to get garments. But like I wish for my situation, if you're going to the North Mission, the distribution center isn't in your mission. Like bring more garments, and do not bring the mesh garments. Bring the stretch cotton ones. Way better.
Corbin top.
Yeah, the Corbin top. I had one of those too. Those were good. Nice.
Silk.
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that on here, but
Silk.
That's fine. You're chilling. So was it pretty hot there year round?
yeah, I like. There's this joke that we'd always tell people, like the only place, or like the Nicaraguans would say, like the only place hotter than Nicaragua is the sun. Which there
That's
might
so
be
funny because like the sun's like super hot, bro.
Bro.
I think that's the joke.
What?
That's not going on Insta, bro.
That's going on.
So
Insta.
tired.
These are so unscripted.
Clip it.
I'm so tired,
it.
bro.
You're chilling. You're chilling. Okay.
If anything, I was just clowning at that joke because like, you're like, what's hotter than the sun, you know? It's not that, man.
Let's just move on. Okay, so
Oh.
you get to transfers. What was your first area? What was it like?
Okay, so yeah, I get to transfers, and like everybody's standing up. They're like, elder, whatever, like meet your companion, like this other elder, and then everybody's like standing up and like dapping up their comps. Like there's like so much hype in the transfer meeting, and I was like, whoa, this is cool. Like there's so much excitement.
Yeah.
And I remember like on like the last slide, they're like, Elder Harris, your companion is Elder Reynoso, and I like stand up, and they're like, he's waiting for you in your area. And they're like, your area is Puerto Cabezas. And I was like, I don't know what that means. And so if you've ever seen the safety zone videos, like there's a video where
Yes.
the health video with like the food and nutrition and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the girl that drinks the bad water
Yeah.
and like ends up going home. That was my first area. And I was there for 5
Look at that.
transfers.
Okay.
So you have to take a plane to get there. So they
Whoa.
were like, your plane ticket doesn't leave for another week. So you're going to stay here with the office elders. So I was with the office for a week before I got to my area.
And who was your companion with?
Like all of the secretaries, like they just stuck me. They were like, just be with another elder and then you'll be chilling. So I was just like with the APs and the secretaries and stuff.
And then your companion that was already in the area, who was he with?
Yeah, he was
For that
just with,
week?
there was like a house of 4. So he was just like
okay.
in the area, like sharing the area with the other 3 elders or the other 2
Gotcha.
elders that were
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you wait that week, and are you doing missionary work that week, or are you just kind of like hanging out?
Yeah,
What are you
honestly,
doing in that week?
I remember like feeling discouraged because I wasn't doing missionary work. I would go out with them at nighttime, like whenever they like the office elders would wake up, do their studies, whatever, and then they'd be on the grind till like 4 or 5 p.m. and then they'd go out and proselyte. And so I remember like trying to study Spanish, but just feeling like really discouraged. And I remember also feeling discouraged because I like all the secretaries are like sleeping until 8, and I was like, "What is going on?" But yeah, wasn't really doing much work, so I remember like feeling a little like discouraged. I was like, "Oh man, like I got to be doing more."
Yeah.
What kind of office elders were they? Because I've heard that in other missions, it's like for us, it was senior missionaries that did like the finance department and the car department, and but I found out that like other missions assign that to young missionaries.
Yeah, that's how it was for us. Yeah, they
Okay,
were
so the
young.
office elders, yeah, that you were with, were they just like the finance guys or
Yeah,
something?
just like normal. Yeah,
Okay.
they were the finance bros of the mission. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Did you have senior missionaries?
no,
No, not at all.
I
Okay.
think there were senior missionaries like assigned to our mission from the United States. There was like Elder Wade was like the mission doctor
Okay.
who was like over the area.
Okay.
But like one time my companion got sick and he called us. He was like, "No, like I'm in Salt Lake City right now." I was like, "Okay." Like you can't help us that
Sweet.
much.
Thanks, Doc.
Yeah. I was like, "Ah, nice."
Ibuprofen it is.
Yeah. So after that week, you hop on that plane to your area, which was what was it again? Something.
It was called Puerto Cabezas, which means like
Okay.
port heads.
Yeah. Okay. And what was it like out there? Like, what was your first impression of that area and your trainer and all that stuff?
Right. Okay, that's like a really good question. So Puerto Cabezas is not like the rest of Nicaragua at all. Like all of Nicaragua is like normal Latin America, most of it. It's like just like a little more poor, but Puerto Cabezas is like an indigenous town.
Really?
And so they're all like Afro descendants and they don't speak Spanish. They speak a dialect called Misquito. And so like
Mosquito.
yeah, yeah, like mosquito, yeah. So I
Okay.
get there and it's like a lot more poor, also like a lot more dangerous than the rest of it. So I get there and my companion, he was just out of training and was starting to train me. So he's like this 3 months in Guatemalan elder, spoke no English. And so I get there and yeah, he I remember getting along with him in the last week of our training. But the rest of it
There
like
you go.
not tons, but it was good. I don't know any other. I don't know. If you
No,
give me
no,
a more
yeah,
specific.
no. That was good. I was just asking, your first impression of him. It
Yeah.
was just kind of like, okay, this dude does not speak English,
Right.
and I don't. I'm guessing you were like, I don't really speak Spanish. So how did you form a relationship with him? Like, how was the training? What was the training like? Did you do just a bunch of language studies to try to get your Spanish up, or did he want to speak English? I know some, natives like they want to speak English and they want to
Right.
try speaking English. Like how were you able to like build a connection with him or like anybody you were teaching or anything?
Yeah. Okay. That's a great question. I think he definitely tried really hard, and I also tried really hard. Like he wanted to learn English, but like it just wasn't coming to him. So I was like, all right, like scratch this. I'm not. He like don't try to learn English. To teach me Spanish, and then we'll do that. So yeah, like I would study Spanish for a long time in the mornings, and then like during the day, I just had like a little notebook. I would say like for missionaries going to any country in like another language, probably just like getting a little notebook in your pocket to just like always write down every word and what it means, and then like going over it at night and remembering the context and like in which it was used. That helped me like tons. So that's what I did. That's how he helped me. So I'd be like, oh, like what does this mean? I'd like itch my arm, and he'd be like rascar, like that's like to scratch or to itch, or like stuff like that. So like that's how. And then I don't know. Our relationship was pretty good, but like it was just hard to like really create a friendship
Yeah.
until like the last couple weeks of the training when I was like, okay, like I get what he's saying. I understand what's going on.
Okay.
So you'd say a lot of como se dice
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Como se dice? Yeah. And then just point to something. Yeah. And in the lessons, he just like carry the lesson. And then like at the end, I'd be like, ¿Quieres bautizarte? Or like, you want to be baptized? Or whatever it was,
There you go.
Nice. I like
So
that.
what was the finding like in your first area? Was it a lot of street contacting? Was it door to door type stuff? What was it like there?
Right. Okay. That's a good question. So this area had been closed and had been without missionaries for 5 years because of political conflict in Nicaragua. So all of the American missionaries had been taken out. And like I was among the first missionaries that went back to Nicaragua, among the first American missionaries that went back to Nicaragua after having not been there for like a long time. So this was a district. It wasn't a stake. And so they were all branches. And so we didn't have like, and I don't know, my companion didn't really know well how to work with members, or I didn't either. Like we were just figuring it out together.
Yeah.
So it was like all contacting, and we just like contact and then set a time to come back, or just like start a lesson right there on the spot. And in Nicaragua, or in that area at least, they don't really have like doors that you can knock on. They'll just always have the door open. So you just stand right in front of their house and just like yell, "Buenas." You're like, "Buenas." And then like sometimes a little girl will come out and be like, "My mom says she's not here." like, oh, nice.
Oh, that's funny.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that happen even in door knocking.
You get those in the States.
Yeah, he gets
Yeah,
those in
I'm
the
sure.
States. It's the same.
You see like the dad like peeking around the corner.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, my dad's not here. I'm like,
Yeah.
I see that bro
Really?
right there. Actually.
There's a lot of guys with them.
Yeah, I see just him right there, right now. So is that not your dad, or that's funny? So your finding was a lot of just like what you were saying. What was your favorite type of finding? Like, did you have a favorite that you didn't really get to do all that much, or?
Yeah. Best type of finding is always through the members. Every
Yeah.
single time.
Okay.
Yeah.
100% of the time. Like,
And was your ward like supportive of that? Were you in a ward, or was it a branch?
it was a branch.
It was
That
a
first
branch,
one was a
okay.
branch. Yeah. Super small branch. Like, I think there were like maybe 25, 20 people that showed up to church every Sunday. So it was pretty small. But like the best way of finding would either be like going out with a member, and then like you'll be like, "Oh, like who do you know that we can teach?" And they'll be like, "Nobody." And like they'll say nobody, but then you go out and teach them. Like, "Oh yeah, that's my friend from 6th grade." Like, "Oh yeah, I know that guy from work." And they'll like know everybody because it's a small town.
Yeah.
So like doing that, or just like showing up to their houses, because just like anywhere else in the world outside of Utah, there's like not many members. So you just show up to their house and there's like a neighbor kid playing, or like there's a neighbor guy over, like whatever, like fixing his bike, doesn't matter. There's like always somebody in their house. So you just go up like, "Oh, hey, like we're the missionaries." And then you see that there's a friendship there. And so you already have an in. It's not like you're going and you're the first time that this guy has ever seen a missionary.
Right.
It's like you go in and then there's like already some contact. So they say like, "Oh, my friends are Mormons or members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints." And then like you come in, they're like, "Oh, like whatever. These guys, they're just kids. Like they're normal. They're just teaching about Jesus." So like that's the best way by far, especially in Latin America, because in Nicaragua you'll be like, "Oh, like do you want to learn more?" And they'll be like, yeah, come back. And then you'll teach them for so long. And like, and you know, finally after like months of teaching, they're like, no, like I love when you come over. I just am never gonna go to church or read the Book of Mormon or do anything that you say.
But keep hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah. Like keep coming over. We'll give you like food, but yeah.
Those ones are always hard though, because like it's like, dude, I actually love being here. I want to, but
Right.
For the sake of the cause, you
So sad,
kind of got to
yeah.
stop spending. Yeah.
Because they want you over, and like there's a genuine like friendship that's established, and so sometimes you have to just be like, "All right, bro, like I planted the seed,
Yeah.
that's all I can do." But like you have to be so willing to like drop and pick up people.
Yeah. I mean, I
Especially-
still stay in contact with people that are never probably gonna get baptized, but
Right.
Yeah, same. Shout out Deb. Shout out Deborah. I still stay in contact with Deborah. She responds to me every so often, like,
go Deb.
"Hope you're doing good, son." She calls me son, her grandson.
That's
hilarious.
awesome.
That's cute.
That's funny.
But yeah, how was it in that ward? Like, we've talked to 2 other Central America. Well, I guess she was in the DR, but we just talked to some sister that served in Guatemala, and she was saying that they got like kets for their MSF. What was like your currency, and like how much did they give you, and was it enough or was it not enough?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So that like we call it like la quincena. So we get like the quincena, like the MSF, every 2 weeks, and low key we got like way more than we needed, which was nice. Yeah, they'd give us. I'm trying to remember. I think at the beginning of my mission it was 4,400 Cordobas, which was equal to like something like $110 or something like that.
Okay,
And then later
it's not bad.
they set it up and it was like $10 more. So it ended up being like $121, $122 for every 2 weeks. And in Nicaragua, like your only expenses are like your food really and your transport pretty much, and then like whatever, deodorant, toothpaste. But we didn't ever cook. We gave like our money for food. We set apart like usually 2,000 Cordobas or 2,500 Cordobas and gave it to what we had like called pensionistas. So we'd give it to
Okay,
them.
so you guys had
go.
pensionistas too.
Yeah,
Yes.
greatest thing ever. Oh man,
It sounds like
every
it.
mission should have that. Yeah,
It does sound like
yeah.
it.
You guys probably had to cook, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
yeah.
did.
man.
Oh,
We
yeah.
did. Well, I ate out a lot, but yes, in theory we had to cook. Yeah.
Yeah, we just talked to an elder who served in Chile, and he was telling us I'd never heard of this term before, the
Pensionista.
pensionistas.
Mhm.
But it sounds like one of the greatest things ever. It sounds like a grandma or like a mom.
Literally
Yeah.
the best, and they're like so sweet. It's always some lady in the ward or whatever, and then we'd also pay them to like wash our clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
And so we just like bring our clothes in like a bag or like a satchel or whatever. But it was just like perfect because it cut down our time so much. Like we'd show up, eat for 30 minutes if you're obedient, and then leave and work and then get back, eat dinner at night. And then I don't know, great thing. I think all missions should have that. If your mission has that, like, I don't know, it's a
You're
blessing.
blessed.
Yeah.
No, that's for sure. Besides pensionistas, did you get fed by like members of the ward or just like people in the community quite a bit, or did you mostly eat at home like with the pensionista cooking?
Yeah, so like throughout the week, like Monday through Thursday, it was just the pensionista, like lunch and dinner, because we paid her. And then on like Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, depending on like the ward or branch that you were in, like members would feed you. And so those were like the best days because like your pensionista will make you like the same food a lot. And so
Yeah.
sometimes it's like really easy to get sick of rice and beans and cheese. Like that's all you eat, with like a little bit of like ground beef or whatever. But like Saturdays and Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays, like the best days.
Yeah.
Because they're giving you like lobster and shrimp and stuff.
Whoa.
Because like seafood's pretty cheap
Okay.
in
Okay.
Nicaragua.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it was.
That's sweet.
Nice.
That's sweet.
I have a question, not really related to your area, but maybe as like the mission culture. I feel like you've hinted a few times, like maybe a little disobedience or like a little like,
Yeah.
they sleep in a little bit. Like, is that kind of the culture of more of like the natives there, or is that just kind of the mission culture? Is that fixed now? Was it mission president dependent? Like, just kind of take us through the culture of the mission a little bit while you were there.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to like say how it was when I got there and how it was when I left, and I'm going to say that that's not how it is now because the mission president's changed. And I know a lot of things have changed, and like mission culture is always changing in
Yeah.
any mission, right?
Yeah.
Naturally, no matter where you are.
Yes.
But I got there, and so my mission president was pretty new. He'd only been in for like 3 months, and the old mission president was like really good, but he had been there during COVID, and so like a lot of things went down that weren't supposed to go down. And my mission president sent home like 30 people or something, which is like huge.
The purge.
Yeah, like literally.
Purge.
And so he was like just cracking down. And so I remember I felt like it was pretty disobedient when I got there, but then our mission president was like locking in, like sending a bunch of boys home and stuff. And it was also, I think that,
Was it mostly elders when you said send the boys home?
yeah, well, there were no American sisters in the mission. They don't send American sisters to Nicaragua right now, at least.
Just because of violence and stuff?
I don't know. Yeah, probably. I mean, if I was like a general authority, I would not send any.
I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's crazy.
Not to Nicaragua. Maybe to the DR or something, but yeah, not there. So yeah, but then it got a lot better, like over time. Yeah, I think I don't know if I answered your question.
No, yeah, you definitely did. I was just curious because some of your comments were just like, yeah, I was kind of like,
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
obedient, you stay at the pensionistas for 30 minutes, then you go work, or
Right.
the office elders like sleeping in a little bit. So I was
Mhm.
just curious, like if that was more of a mission thing or.
Yeah.
Did the like some of my, I don't know, it's kind of funny with members because like we had dinner every night with members in Denver, and some of them they can almost tell like if you were the kind of missionaries that weren't so by the book obedient kind of thing, then they'd be happy to have you for 3 hours. You know what I mean? Just hang out at their
Yeah.
house. There's other members where like they'd be like, all right, elders, that's your hour. Like we love having you guys here.
You guys go.
Yeah, like you guys have any plans or anything, and so like not like kick us out of the house, but try to remind us that
Right, yeah.
So like with the pensionistas, what was the kind of vibe there? Like, did they love you to the point where like they would hang out with you all day, or were they also like very supportive and like go like do your work and?
Right. That's a really good. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked that. I think so. Nicaragua is like pretty young, relatively, with like the church.
Okay.
The church. That's what I meant to say. Like the church is relatively young in Nicaragua. I think it like didn't really. I don't know when the first stake, was made a stake, but most of the members are converts, so they don't really like know
How it works.
how it should be. So
Yeah.
like generally the pensionistas just like loved you. Like if you were disobedient, you could stay there for 3 hours. Like you could do whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
But then in like more developed areas, like more in the cities, and stuff. There were like returned missionaries and members and stuff that like almost was like the opposite, and almost, in my opinion, like just as bad, where they're like scrutinizing you, you know, and they're like waiting for you to make a mistake. You know, like say you're sick and you're like, oh man, like my stomach hurts, like I just need 10 more minutes, and they're like leave, like, oh, and then they judge you or something. But I would say for the most part, like people in Nicaragua are like super nice and super chill, and most of them are converts to the church, so they like don't really know anything better. Like you do whatever you want, and they just think you're angels mostly, which is sweet.
So Nicaragua, with the church being so young, what was it like as far as like the actual work goes with the ward and like how you work with them? Do you guys do like member missionary councils? Do you guys do, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So like we'd never go visit members and teach like members lessons, really. Like there just wasn't like we had to get people, we had to get priesthood holders, like
It was more
otherwise-
like getting them with you.
right,
right?
exactly. Yeah, that's
Well, let me reiterate. Actually, was there even a calling for a ward mission leader out there? Or?
in like wards, yeah. In branches often there was not.
It was just you guys.
Yeah, it was just
Just
us.
you.
And then,
Front lines.
yeah. And if I can like tell like a
Boots
quick
on the ground.
story.
Go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that's pretty funny. Just so I got like, this was my third area, and I got sent to an area again that had been closed for 5 years. And so I was sent and I was like training, and I was like, I have no idea. I was like in this teeny town called San Ramon in like the middle of nowhere, like jungle town. And we get there to church on the first Sunday. There's 6 members, I think, that show up, and we get there, and the branch president's like, oh, like, welcome, elders. He's so excited to have us. He's like, sit down. Don't worry. We'll take care of you today. And we're like, well, sweet. Awesome. We're super excited to be here. And like, we sit there, and he's like, okay, and now we'll bless the sacrament. And like, so there's 2 priesthood holders, and like the branch president sitting up there, and another guy starts to bless the sacrament. And I was like, well, he told us to sit down. I guess the branch president's going to pass the sacrament. But then when the sacrament prayer is done, a lady gets up and grabs the sacrament trays and starts passing the sacrament. And we're like, yo, what is going on? And so like, we're like, okay. Like we got to stop this. Like,
She don't know.
yeah. And so like right after like that, we're like, okay, like we're going to do the water now. Like, we
Yeah.
got this president. And afterwards we're like, president, like she can't do that. And he's like, why not? So we're like, because she doesn't have the priesthood. And he's like, oh, okay. So we come back next week and she's doing it again. We're like,
She
president.
has no.
And so he's like, no, it's okay. I gave her the priesthood. I was like, no way. I was like, that's crazy.
Problem solved.
That's
There it is.
Problem solved.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So funny.
I remember like in the moment I was
Sheesh.
like, oh my goodness, like we're gonna get struck by lightning. Like God's gonna like
Sodom and Gomorrah,
I
this
was like,
place.
I was like, we're going to outer darkness.
You're like.
Oh
and
no!
Please.
Take me back to the roaches. That's tough. So what was the result of that?
Yeah, we just started passing the sacrament and
Okay.
passing the sacrament. And just
Did they have to
did it all.
like?
Yeah, and then we were like, yeah, we had a lesson on the priesthood, and that lesson, we
Yeah.
had like actually like 4 lessons on the priesthood.
That's an interesting question. I mean, I kind of have what I think is the answer, but like, so obviously she didn't have the priesthood, but he gave it to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, did they have to like extract it from her, or were they just like, she doesn't actually have it, so she's
They were
fine.
like, it's fine. Like it was just a prayer. It was just blessing.
It was a prank. Yeah.
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 It's a
The
prank.
bishop's like, I was actually just kidding.
He was like, yeah, no, I didn't really mean it.
Yeah, look at your guys' faces. I totally got you.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, so take us now to your second area. Are you back closer into the city now? What's it like?
So yeah, the second area was the second farthest place from.
Okay.
So the first area
So
was first
farthest and the
farthest,
second farthest.
and the second farthest. So I was little by little, making my way closer to the city. It was called Ocotal. It was another like pueblo, like a small town. It was like I don't know, like 15 or maybe it was more like 50 kilometers from Honduras. So we're like right next to this. So it had like huge Honduran influence and
Okay.
culture.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was getting closer. It was super fun area. Way different. Like I said, like the first area, Puerto Cabezas, is really a lot different from everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like no matter where you go, everybody will let you in Puerto
Yeah.
Cabezas. And you can like invite somebody to be baptized and they will say yes, like on the first lesson, like 50% of the time. And then you can usually go and like bring them to church. So it's like easy to baptize there.
Yeah.
Relatively. There's a lot of work that goes into it, especially with like law of chastity and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, second area, it's like normal Latin America. Like we start getting like shut down a lot more. And Ocotal is like super freaking Catholic. Like
Okay.
everybody's
Interesting.
Catholic.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like something new for me. I hadn't experienced that, so I was like, okay, I really got to read up on the New Testament so I can
Yeah.
so I can answer these questions.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know if I answered the question.
No, you did. That was great. So you touched a little bit on your third area, but jump into that now. Your third area.
Yeah, third
mission.
area, super small town, jungle town. It was awesome. It was like in the mountains, so it was not hot at all. It was like super cool. Like 80 degrees was
There
like
you
the
go.
high every day. Like 60 degrees was like the low. Like no trouble sleeping. We had a really cute like little like nice house. It was sweet. But yeah, like the branch was like so weak. And I remember this was like one family that we were teaching, and we just thought they were like elect and golden. And like, yeah, we taught them I was only there for one transfer. We taught them
Okay.
for like the whole transfer. And like at the end, they were like, no, like actually, we never want to join your church.
Oh.
Oh, frick.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember we knocked every single door in the whole town.
Okay.
And then, or like yelled.
In one transfer?
Buenas. Yeah, in one transfer. There were like other like neighboring pueblos, like little towns that we hadn't touched yet, that the elders later got. And there were some people that ended up getting baptized that we taught like after I left. But I didn't. That was the only area that I didn't get a baptism in.
Okay.
So like in Nicaragua, at least during my mission in the culture, if you weren't baptizing, like there was a lot of stress on you to baptize.
Okay.
Because
Gotcha.
you can
Okay.
if you really
Yeah,
want.
yeah. So you feel like that was just from top down, like mission leadership was pretty like on top of that, like you need to baptize or else you're not doing your job.
Yeah,
You're not doing
exactly.
good.
So super interesting because I feel like I've talked to like friends that have served in the States or in other missions where it's like so focused on obedience. And for us, it was like you could do whatever you want if you're baptizing. Like I remember,
Interesting.
like my
Okay.
first area like throughout my mission, like if you would baptize like 2 in a month, you could just call president and be like, hey, president, like, is it cool if I watch a movie or whatever? And he'd be like, yeah, sure, you can watch a movie. And stuff
Okay.
like that. So I was like, that's how it was when I
Very
was there.
results.
I think the new
driven.
mission president has changed things a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think that's not supposed to be how it is.
No.
I don't
wouldn't
think so.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't think that's.
Yeah, I'd be like, sure, yeah, you can watch that movie with Will Smith. Yeah, like as long as you baptize 5 people this month, you're good. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Jazz tickets when you get home.
Yeah, for real.
2 years out.
a segue.
Yeah.
They're doing sales stuff.
Yeah, no, literally stuff like that. The president would be like, we're gonna do a team building activity. I'm gonna take everybody to a nice restaurant. All the zone that baptizes the most. Stuff like that. I'm not sure if that's like supposed to be how it's done.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No, for us, like the zone for the month, maybe got like a little bit of praise in the group chat. That was about it.
Yeah, if that. But so Hunter, let me ask you this. You're learning Spanish, how long did it take you to feel like super confident in your Spanish speaking skills? Like, was it like 6 months, 8 months? And where was that?
Right. So I feel like just because all my companions were like native Latinos and didn't speak any English, and so it just like really forced me to be immersed, and I didn't really have any like contact with American elders because there were so few in the mission at that time. It forced me to like get it down pretty quick. So I felt like confident of like to be able to communicate anything I wanted and understand everything, like most everything at like 4 months. But I didn't really feel like comfortable, like, oh, like I can say this with ease without really thinking about it. I didn't feel that till like 6 months. And I feel like at 6 months I was like, okay, like, yeah, I can pretty much like fully communicate with anybody and like not have trouble. And I like was having dreams in Spanish and stuff.
That's so funny because, yeah, I did ASL on my mission,
Oh, dang.
and we'd always joke about like having dreams and sign. And my wife will like still sign in her sleep. Like she'll sign in her sleep. Did you ever have any experience like companions talking or did you ever like talk Spanish in your sleep at all?
I'm not that I was told. I had companions that did though.
Yeah.
But, like
my
I
wife
never-
will literally be throwing her hands around in bed. Like,
You're like, stop.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, put it down. Like it's not real. It's a dream. But
Did you get slapped in the morning with
yeah.
ASL?
Well, like no, she will like she'll like tap me in the bed and then like sign to me, and I'm like, what is going on here?
Pitch black.
It's-
I
yeah,
can't see.
I can't see. I can barely
talk.
see.
You're mute.
Yeah, I can't see anything. But so it took about 6 months. Was that pretty? So there wasn't a lot of American elders, so I guess you didn't really have a measuring stick for other missionaries learning the language. But Do you feel like that was pretty good? Like pretty fast, pretty slow? 6 months? Is that about normal? I feel like the Spanish missionaries that we have interviewed have said like 6 to 8 months is when they felt like pretty decent with it.
Yeah, like I would say that. I would say like at 8 months I felt fluent, like more than confident. Like I felt like I could communicate with anybody no matter what country they're from, and like even if their accent was difficult to understand or there was vocabulary or slang that I didn't get, I would still be able to figure it out from context. I feel like at that point. But yeah, for me, like 4 months when I was like, okay, I can do pretty much everything, but like not like perfectly. So yeah, I don't know. It's different. Like again, like I would think that that's not really comparable to like an American, like a missionary serving in the States speaking Spanish, because they're not like immersed. And if even if like you go to a Spanish speaking country, but your trainer is a gringo, like an American, like it's kind of, that's going to be tougher naturally because there's going to be a lot more English spoken. But when there's like no option and there's like a strong language barrier, you have no choice but to overcome it. So it's like it sucks and it hurts and it's the worst, but you do it.
Okay, so last area we talked about was you were in the jungle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was your fourth area?
That was my third.
Area. Okay.
Yeah.
Now take us to your fourth area.
Okay, so my fourth area, I remember that was so my first transfer in my fourth area. My fourth area was probably like one of my favorites.
Okay.
That one and my first area were my two favorite areas.
Yeah.
And it was called Leon. And I remember I got put there as like a zone leader, and I didn't know like what I was doing, but it was like the worst transfer of my mission by far. Like I wanted to go home. Like I told President in like my interview that transfer, I was like, President, like I might go home. I was like, this is really, really hard. And it was because my companion was super duper like disobedient. Yeah, the Sabbath day in Spanish is Dia de Reposo, which is day of rest, but there is no day of rest on Sunday as a missionary. There is no resting.
That's true.
So, yeah,
That caught me by surprise.
Yeah, that caught me by. I was
yeah.
waiting for that.
Especially like, dude, I didn't go to church a lot before the mission, but if I did, I took a huge nap after. So going to church every week on the mission, and then no naps. Crazy.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Devious.
And I was like usually triple covering wards, so that's three church meetings. Love it. I loved it. It was amazing.
So anyway, this companion was kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember like the mission president got there and he like noticed something was off, and he was like frustrated. He was like, Elder Harris, what happened to your zone? I was like, I don't know, President. I was like freaking out. And he was like, he's like, I'm gonna emergency transfer the whole zone. What do you think? And I think he was expecting to use that as like a punishment on me.
Drop a nuke.
He was like using it to scare me, and I was like, do it. I was like, that will fix it.
I hate everybody. Do it.
Yeah,
Transfer everybody.
He probably hated that response. He's like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
Now I
probably
gotta
did.
plan.
He knew that I was trying. He knew that I was like doing my best. I think that's why he talked to me. But like,
Yeah. Well, I have a question. What about these things made it so hard for you? You know what I mean? Like to the point where you genuinely thought that you might want to go home.
I think it's like, well, like not only are you fighting against your like natural man, you're like, you know, you wake up in the morning, it's so hot outside, or you wake up and you're tired.
It's a lot easier to be disobedient.
It's like okay, maybe you can be disobedient in small things. So you're already fighting against your own natural man. You're like, okay, I got to set example for like the elders. I got to do this. So you're already fighting against yourself. And then to not only fight against yourself, but fight against your companion that should also be setting an example for the zone is so hard. And so like the lesson that I learned too late that I wish I would have known is like, I should have just told my president. Like I kept thinking in my mind, like, oh, I'm going to help my companion.
So he didn't know.
He did once he had interviews, but that was like 4 weeks into the transfer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I had to suffer for a whole month. And if I would have I kept thinking in my mind, like, okay, well, like maybe he's not that bad. Like, I don't know him. I barely know this elder.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to help him. I'm going to try to be obedient and just work through it. But yeah, I wish if I would have just said something at the beginning and been like, President, like, look, this is a disaster. Like, this is what my companion's doing. Like, I'm trying. I warned him 3 times. Cause like, I feel like if you just like are downright like, oh, like elder, you're disobedient. I just called president and told him that's uncalled for.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But like after like continued disobedience and you're like, dude, like, come on, we got to get it.
Bro, I mean,
like, I don't know.
you can't forget how crucial the spirit is.
Right.
Yeah, you have to have that to make it work.
And I think I felt the spirit being like, hey man, like you got to do something, and like you telling him to fix the problem isn't going to work. But I put it off because I was scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so now take us. How many areas were you in total?
Okay, let me see. I think 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah.
Run us through your last 3 areas. Just tell us a little about what each one was like, what was unique about each area.
Okay, sounds good. And I want to talk like really, really briefly on like what that
Yeah,
fourth area was
absolutely.
like. It's called
Yeah, yeah.
Leon,
Oh, yeah,
super
sorry.
colonial city,
Yeah, for sure.
really, really hot.
Yeah.
There's 2 hottest cities in the North Mission, Chinandega and Leon, which are like super duper duper hot.
Yeah.
And if you're there during like Holy Week, Semana Santa, which is like during Easter, it's just like brutal, super hot. But it was like a really good area. Leon was one of my favorite areas after that companion left, and I was put with great companions.
Okay, good.
So then after that, I left and I got sent to the capital city of Managua. And a lot of people like
Uh-huh.
you either love Managua or you hate Managua.
Okay.
And like I tried really hard to love it. So I loved it for some reasons, but then for all the other reasons I hated it. Like it was hard. Like
What was the reason people hated it versus they loved it?
I think just because it's like a really busy city and people are just like a little not as nice as in like other areas.
Okay.
Because it's like a city.
Okay.
And so you just get like rejected a lot more. But then it's also super nice because there's like stakes and wards and there's
Okay.
like members that can help. And
Yeah.
there's like members that have cars, you know, or like
nice.
motorcycles that can do stuff. So I really loved that area. I still keep in contact with the people. It was called Duquali. So that was my 5th area.
That's cool.
Super good. That was like in the same zone as like the APs and the secretaries and the office elders and stuff.
Okay.
Then my 6th area was called what was it called? Sebaco. And that was like another little town near San Ramon, my 3rd area.
Okay.
Super good. It was like a hub town. And I like one thing I'll say about Sebaco, if anybody goes there, is like there's so many drunk people. Like always. Like
Did they call them
24/7.
bolos?
Yeah, bolos. Whoa, that's crazy. How'd you know?
Bolos.
Same as Guatemala.
Bolos with the blicky.
Yeah.
The bolos were crazy. The bolos went
funny.
nuts. But it was so funny to mess with them though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember like me and my companion, if a guy was like real drunk, we'd stand up and then like we'd do like, here, can I demonstrate?
Yeah.
We stand up, we'd be like this, you like sway from right to left, like in sync with your comp, and they'll be like, hermano, no. And they'll like start tweaking out.
Start puking from.
Yeah, they'll start tweaking and they'll like fall over. That happened I think on like 2 different occasions.
Oh,
They're,
that's sick.
And all dizzy.
Hermano, yeah, they'll get dizzy, they'll like fall or stuff like that.
That's
Or like
funny.
I had one companion with the bolos in Managua, in the capital city. Whenever any like bolo would come up to you, like you knew he was about to ask for money. Like no matter what it was, he'll be like, hermano, 5 pesos. You know, I'd be like, give me some money. And anytime that a bolo came up to us to ask for money, my companion would be like, can you lend us five pesos? He would like beat him to it and ask the
He'd ask
ask
him
the
before.
drunk- Yeah, he'd beg for money from the drunk guys, and it would always just catch him off guard.
Y'all probably needed it more than them, bro.
Yeah, or sometimes they gave it
That's
to us like pretty consistently.
Dang.
Serious?
Yeah, they'd be like,
Okay, Bolos.
okay. Like, no, it's okay.
Generous.
You need this. You need
That's
to go.
so funny. He's like, I was coming up to. Yeah. Okay. Here's.
I guess if I'm in a bag, I also got to give, right?
Yeah,
Here you guys go.
Lord
Exactly.
taketh.
Karma will
Yeah.
come
Lord
around.
giveth. Lord
Yeah.
take away.
Yeah. Oh man. So fun that area was
That's
really
awesome.
awesome. And
That's
I
awesome.
I was only with an American elder one time in my mission. It was then.
Okay. Yeah.
And he was like super awesome. Elder Brown, he's a dog.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Elder Brown.
Shout out Elder B.
Yeah. Oh, man.
B-Bone.
Such a fun companion. I remember he was like one of the hardest working guys I knew. I just remember like feeling like we were grinding. We didn't like baptize as much as we wanted, but I remember like he was sick and he was like, "No, elder, doesn't matter. I have to go out and work." So like we're on the street and he like throws up on the side of the street and he's like, "Much better," and then just like kept working. And I was like, "What a dog!" Like,
Sheesh.
it was impressive. Yeah, fun.
bro.
Could not be
area.
me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could not be me.
It couldn't have been me either. Yeah, and it was in that. I forgot to mention. I think this is something like do not drink the water that they give
Okay.
you.
Good to know.
In that area in Managua, in the capital, I got like it's called Helicobacter, which is like E. coli. But so I got sent to the hospital for that for 2 days, but it was during the NFL playoffs. So I watched the NFL playoffs.
A blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
you
So I
could
got
say.
to watch Lamar Jackson. I love the
Choke?
Ravens. Yeah.
Is that the game?
No, it
they
wasn't. It wasn't.
lost?
Who did they play? I don't remember. I think they played the Chiefs.
Yeah, it was probably the divisional round. And was that last year or 2 years ago?
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was a Chiefs game then. We lost.
Yeah.
So-
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah,
thing.
so don't drink the water. Getting sick really sucks. You poop blood, and for like 3
don't drink the
days.
water. Was it
Or you can
just
drink the
bottled
water.
water?
Just be careful. Like if you can. There's some areas where the tap water is supposedly safe, and you can just be careful with it. But yeah, like use the little bottles they give you. The little like you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the little like life straw things.
Yeah, they'll give
Yeah.
they'll give you those in MTC.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I ain't getting none of those.
Well, we got them, thankfully.
Yeah.
I think it might have been a little more important.
Yeah, they're like,
Freaking MTC, bro.
They screwed you over.
Yeah, they did. Holding out.
they did.
Got my milk though.
They did. They get good milk. All right. So, does that take us through the last year? Or did you have one?
Oh, no. Let's see. So, yeah, then I had one more area, and I was back in the capital city for 2 transfers. But we were traveling around a lot with my companion during then. And we were in the office. And so I didn't really get, like, much of the experience of the area.
Gotcha.
But it was fun. I was in a branch called La Primavera, and so that was awesome. It was cool because I got to see the cultures of like a lot of different zones during that time.
Getting travel around.
Right.
Yeah.
And then so my mission president was like, all these elders that are, or he had mentioned to me, he was like, I realized I was gonna get home in like September, and so I was gonna miss school. I wasn't gonna be able to make it to BYU in time. I was like, I'm gonna miss the semester. So he was like, do you want to extend? So I prayed about it, and I was like, okay, yeah, like I think I want to. So after that, I went to my last area, which was right next to that first area in that same city called Puerto Cabezas. And I was just like a freaking blast, just like grinding, just like working so hard. At that point, like I knew Spanish and Mosquito, so it was fun.
That's super sweet.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
That's all my areas.
That's awesome. Okay. Quick question. Transportation, do you just walk everywhere?
Walk, or you take either like in Managua, you take the buses everywhere.
Okay. Yeah.
Like to get to like district council, you take the bus. And then in like areas like Sebaco, they had like what's called like moto taxi or like caponera, which is like it's either like a motorcycle that has like a 3-person seat like in front that you can sit in, and you like pay them like 20 pesos or whatever to get to where you're going. Or like the currency is called Cordobas, but they also call them pesos.
Okay, gotcha.
Or they also had like that like little tuk-tuks like in some other missions, like little red cart thingies that'll drive you around, and then like taxis as well.
Did they have margaritas?
Margaritas? No, what's that? I don't know what that is.
It was
super
that was the word for
dope.
the DR.
Yeah, it was a
There's
DR
another
thing.
word for it that
It was like, it's pretty much like a covered
No, but
motorcycle.
it might
Yeah,
be-
that's pretty
Is
much.
that a tuk-tuk?
I think that's what they call it in some places.
Jenica was talking about moto taxis or something like that.
Yeah, she was too.
Yeah,
In Guatemala, yeah.
Guatemala.
Yeah, I think I know they have them in Guatemala. I had like 5 Guatemalan companions. I had a lot.
Cool.
Yeah, the native companions are the best. They're so like it's so fun. They're just like so much energy. It's a
Yeah.
Yeah,
blast.
that's awesome.
So it was a lot of walking, a lot of busing, a lot of like cars or bikes. You guys weren't on
No,
cars or bikes,
no.
yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't think
definitely
so.
not.
What shoes were you
cars.
rocking, bro?
So like I got oh man, those shoes were great. Like I would recommend them. They're expensive, but if you get like the Johnston and Murphys, I don't know
Yep.
what they're called.
Yep.
Yeah, with like the rubber sole, like the athletic
Yeah,
sole.
yeah,
Yes.
Those ones are great.
That's my pick, bro. I was walking in snow in those things.
Yeah, those things were great. Like they were waterproof, so I'd like you get like downpoured, you'd be walking in like super heavy rain, and they'd hold up. So I destroyed those things, and then at that point, like after it took me a year to go through 2 pairs of those, and then I just went to like the mall and I got this pair of like boots that
Okay.
I still have in my closet back home in Maryland, and they're like they've got holes in the bottoms and stuff. But yeah, just like heavy duty stuff. I would recommend like really comfortable, like not super heavy, but like boots are really nice.
Yeah, but no, I will piggyback. Those Johnson and Murphys are so tough.
Those
That's
were
all,
good.
that's all I wore.
I would say if I could have bought those in Nicaragua, I probably would have bought them again. But they're not ideal for the rain.
All
Yeah.
right.
So now you're at the end of your mission, and looking back on your last like 2 years, how did you see yourself like grow and your testimony grow in those 2 years?
I think that's the most important question.
Yeah.
Just I realized so much that blessings come and miracles come after faith. And so sometimes in those moments when it's so hard and it's so difficult, whether it be like at the beginning, it felt like the language. In the middle, it felt like a companion. At the end, it felt like just being a good leader. Like that's just so crucial is that you love the Lord and exercise the faith in him. And so the best missionaries, I don't know, like if you really love the Lord, like being obedient isn't much of a sacrifice. It's not hard. And so the more that I grew to love the Lord, the more I realized, okay, I don't really need to spend 30 minutes bashing with somebody in their house, or like the more I don't know. I think, I think my eyes were also opened to a new world that I hadn't seen. And I just became so grateful to live in the States. Like I became so patriotic on my mission.
There we go.
I was like,
Yes,
dude,
sir.
like, man, like anybody who hasn't gone
USA.
out, like, oh man, we're so blessed to live here.
Right.
So just like filled with gratitude. And then it just gave me the idea, like, I want to be successful in life now. I realized I need to come back from my mission, get an education, get a good job, make money for my family, not so that I can be rich, but so I can bless others. And I realized that, like, I thought about,
That's
okay,
cool.
like the members that most supported you on your mission were like, they were always the ones that had like the nice house and the car. They were always the ones that were like competent and educated because you could invite people over to their house,
Yep.
and stuff like that. So I was like,
That's
okay, like
facts.
what can I do now that I've seen this to live the rest of my life like that member, to like support the Lord in his work. And I don't know, the biggest lesson I think I really learned is like there is literally nothing more important than the gospel of Jesus Christ. Like nothing even comes close. Like it does not matter where you are or what you're doing or like what trials you face, but like the gospel, like in the end, like that's the only thing that matters. Like you die, like no matter what you have here, like
No, you don't
how
take it
you
with you.
lived
Yeah.
here is what matters more than everything else.
For sure.
Sure. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think that's
Sweet. So if you had like, I mean, I guess you gave a little bit of advice, but looking back at yourself before your mission, or just for people that get their call to Nicaragua to your mission, do you have a piece of advice you'd give them?
Yeah, like love the Lord and everything will unfold correctly. And I think that that's probably the case for every mission. So maybe I can give like more specific advice to like other things. But like number one, like if you love the Lord, like you will know what to do. Like the more you love the Lord, the easier it will be to deal with difficult companions, because you'll know if it's okay, have patience or call my mission president. Which one
Right.
is it? And like if you love the Lord, you won't have a hard time like getting up and working as much. Like
Yeah.
and so it's a hard thing because sometimes you're like, oh man, like I know I love the Lord, but it's just feeling really difficult right now. But like the stronger that love is, the easier it is. And then I guess
That's great advice.
for missionaries going out to Nicaragua specifically, huge piece of advice that I think I didn't touch on before is like, do not be afraid to drop people. Like,
That's good advice.
do not be afraid to drop people because you'll pick up more people. Like if somebody's not progressing, that's okay. Like it's just not their time. It doesn't mean that the Lord doesn't want them, and it doesn't mean that they're not going to be saved. But like you cannot, like there is not time to be wasted. Like you can't let that time.
That's really
go
good
to
advice.
waste.
I think we've talked about it before, three of us, but like, dude, it's so beneficial to drop people for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they need that break and they need to figure things out in their life, and then just have faith that the Lord's going to bring it back to them when they're ready.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's some statistic that I just went out with like the elders where I live here in Orem, the Spanish elders, like a couple weeks ago. And they were like telling me the statistic their mission president told them that like somebody on average has like
7 interactions.
Yeah, that
There
one.
it
Yeah,
is.
exactly. They have 7
Yeah.
interactions with missionary before they get back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah, the Lord's working in their life, man. Just gotta,
Awful.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So do you guys have any other questions before we wrap up?
No, I think that's a great
No, I'm
episode.
good, yeah.
Great
It's
podcast.
great.
So
Yeah.
Hunter, do you have anything you think we missed? Anything you just really wanted to share before we wrap up?
I don't know. I loved Nicaragua. I'm going back. They're dedicating a temple here in the spring of
Hey.
2026.
That's awesome.
So I'm gonna go back. I'm super excited. Just I don't know. No matter what mission you're in, like that love for the Lord will fuel your love for the people, and it's just like I don't know. I loved it.
That's awesome.
I like. I'm
I love
trying to
that.
convince my fiance to go there for a honeymoon. But
I thought you were gonna say you're trying to convince her to go on a mission. I was like, oh,
no,
okay.
no,
You
no.
might be in too deep for that. You might.
no, definitely not.
I don't know if you want all that.
No, she served, but
Okay, cool.
if she hadn't,
She's clear.
heck no. No. She's American. Yeah, wait. If any of
Hunter
you,
didn't slide.
yeah, remember the parable of the cornflakes? Yeah, remember that. elders.
I actually don't know what that is.
I do.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
sure.
I know what you're talking about. Okay, well, thank you so much, Hunter. We really appreciate you coming on. Love your insights, your spirit, your testimony. And yeah, this is another episode 10. Just like Hunter went and did in Nicaragua, you should go and do too. Thank you guys.
That's a
Amen.